as we're starting this session. So briefly, I'm going to go into the core values of FTL Africa, what we are and what we're all about. Next slide, please. So our vision is to empower Africans, whether in Africa or in diaspora. We've been emphasizing on this in our previous sessions too. To lead in technology, AI, and innovation by bridging local challenges with global opportunities and building a legacy of pride, purpose, and progress. Next slide. Our cultural plan involves excellence, integrity, relevance, discipline, and innovation by taking local roots and expanding into global standards, by building on what we believe, the ethics of AI, and finding a solution tailored for African countries, both in diaspora and at home. Also, we are consistently breeding excellence. It's part of what we are working towards, and we are powering tomorrow with intensive ideas. Next slide, please. Okay. Innovation for impact by solving real world problems, and integrity and ethics, which is transparency and trust at our core, inclusivity and representation. Also, we are working on collaboration and community development, in which we know that yes, together we are stronger than being alone. We also have leadership with purpose, which is bold and clear-eyed, responsible part of being a leader, and doing great every time. Part of what makes us a leader is performing best well as our duties. Here's the next slide, please. How we work, which is our cultural practices, involves global and local mindsets as thinking and expanding beyond where we are currently and into future or more advanced environs. We have hands-on learning and collaboration, which involves learning by doing and growth by what sharing. It's a collaborative work. We learn and what we share. Our ethical leadership development involves building of leaders of integrity. This is part of our cultural practices and soul values. Please, next slide. How we work on our cultural practices, which we have been doing since we started FTL Africa, involves the continuous feedback and growth. That is, we're always improving and we're always improvising. Milestones and collaboration, honoring our progress. We appreciate everyone that has been a part of us and will continue to appreciate those that are joining. And the accessibility and support, which is FTL Tech for All, and we are expanding and supporting those that are interested in becoming part of this journey. Next slide, please. So our commitment to global Africans involves supporting Africans, breaking barriers and building identity in diaspora and on the continent, and by breaking barriers in tech and innovation and empowering African identity globally. Please, the next slide. So our legacy involves building leaders, that is, leaving behind more than technology and inspiring generations through culture and impact. And excellence involves setting up what new standards. That is part of excellence. And part of what we deal with in FTL Africa. So I want us to learn by gaining knowledge and skills, create solutions for Africa, and guide the future of tech. And by doing this, we'll become a redefining part of African leadership in technology by learning, building, and leading. Today, I'll be introducing Mr. Solomon Opako, who is a multidisciplinary innovator and a thought leader at the forefront of Africa's digital and ethical AI transformation. He's also the CEO of Service International, which is a growing tech powerhouse, driving change across data analytics, digital strategy, software development, and education. Mr. Solomon wears many hats and he wears them perfectly well. He's a certified AI engineer, a digital scientist, a software engineer, and a certified Agile Scrum Master. Combining deep technical knowledge with operational excellence, he's also a seasoned project manager, a business analyst, marketing growth hacker, and business consultant, trusted by organizations and startups to drive scalable innovations and digital transformation. And also, in addition to what I've been saying, Mr. Solomon is building next generation platforms that are poised to reshape how Africans learn, build, and lead in the tech space, including pioneering tools in AI training, digital entrepreneurship, and decentralized telecom system. So, as a passionate AI forerunner, public speaker, and ethical leadership advocate, Mr. Solomon believes in an Africa that doesn't just consume AI, but defines its purpose. His leadership is rooted in empathy, integrity, and innovation, and the relentless pursuit of solutions that uplift communities. So, whether through mentoring emerging tech leaders or designing ethical systems, he stands firmly on the belief that technology must serve humanity, not the other way around, not humanity serving technology. So, please kindly welcome Mr. Solomon Opako, a visionary CEO, tech builder, ethical strategist, and one of the leading voices shaping Africa's AI future, to anchor and present the next session. Thank you so much. Mr. Solomon,
Thank you
please.
so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi guys, hi everyone. How are we doing? Hope we're doing great. It's good to have everyone on this section, and I'm happy to be part of it. Thus far, I don't know. Um, I have been in section one. Before proceed, I'd like to do like a quick roll call. I'd like to know how many sessions we have been in. By the grace of God, I think I've been in every of the sessions, and let's see who wins or who on the same page with me now. So I don't know. How many of us we're in section one? Can you just make a reaction, or you can mute your mic? Don't forget, this is a training section, so it's a two-way, and it's a training environment, so everybody can be free to raise up your hands and maybe ask questions and all that. So you can just react. If you're in the section one, you can react. Okay, I'm not born in section one. Okay, one. Okay, one person was in section one. Okay, two. Okay, then section two. I'm not on section two. Nobody on session two. Oh my. Okay. Okay. I mean, the guys that were session two are still yet to join us. Okay. Session three. Session three. Let me see. Session three. Okay. One person. Okay. Okay. We're getting it. Okay. That was good. So over session four. Session four. I've been yes in session four. Okay. Two persons. Two persons. Okay. Okay. I mean, so all those persons who have been okay. Three. Okay. three now. I think three. Oh, four. Oh, that's good. Section, okay, now section four, which we just had. Um, who was part of it? Who are those who were part of section four? Section four. Why I start bringing my screen? Let's see. One, two, three. Okay, I think I've seen three now. One, two, three. Okay. Um, four. Uh, okay. Okay. I think I've seen four. Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay, four now. I can see four. Yeah. So please appreciate yourselves um with a clap. Appreciate yourselves with a clap. And I'm going to do an exercise later. The way gift. I like giving gift, tech gift. I'm going to be tech gift. So we're asking a question, and I was part of section. I think during the automation class, which was section two, section three rather. Sorry. Then during the workflow class, section four, I'm going to be asking. I'll give you guys now. Give you guys heads up, so you guys should get ready for the questions that will come from there. So I'll be bringing out questions from there. So it's good to have everyone today. So while others join us, you guys can make some noise. Just copy the link and share on your platforms and on your status, and invite every other person to join. Today is going to be a very interesting section because we'll be talking about some very hard stuff, some very hard as relates to AI, the ethics about AI, and how it affects us as leaders in Africa. So, so quickly, can quickly do that. Take out like 10 seconds. Copy the link, share it on your status, share it to friends. Let them be a part of this section today. Let's have a wonderful section today, and let's proceed to the next height. Okay, quickly, so this section is, as I've been introduced, yes, as I've introduced, my name is Solomon Okwako, and by the grace of God, I wear many hats, and I'm a true believer of innovation and the future of Africa. I believe we are the ones that can build Africa, we ourselves, and no one else can do that for us. And it's about bringing innovative conceptualizations and bringing thoughtful leaders who can help, who can protect what Africa stands for and respect the African identity. And knowing this, we also have to like also implement the fact that the ethical responsibility of artificial intelligence or AI, we should have come to the grip that it's not going anywhere. It has come to stay and it's going to evolve as time goes by. And Africa has to be on that train. We have to lead it. We have to impact through it, and we have to cause positive, pragmatic changes through using this emerging technology, AI, and through building sustainable leaders for Africa. So now that leads me to my next slide. So okay, so now what are we talking about today's section objective? We will be talking about understand key principles of ethical AI, um, connect ethics to leadership in the African context, um, explore real world challenges around bias and privacy, and lastly, build awareness of responsible AI frameworks and values, which is very key to what we're doing in Africa. We can't build Africa without uh, not knowing how to use innovative technology in the right way. And we're talking about some of the dangers, some of the pitfalls, some case studies, and it's going to be a very wonderful session. So get yourself ready, open your mind, and get to learn a lot of stuff we'll be talking about today. Now, AI ethics, what is it? Now, um, it's principles put together, and that's going to aid guide how AI is developed and utilized. It's going to help us ensure AI respects human rights fairness, and accountability. Now, there's so many cons of AI. Yeah, we know a lot of pros, but I'll tell you now the reason why we need to know about the ethics of AI, how to use it properly, is for our own good and for our own safety, and to help us build systems that protect us as Africans, protect us as individuals, protect our family and our homes, and protect the uniqueness of what Africa stands for, which prevents harms, bias, and misuse of technology. Now, we should also have this in mind. Now, because there's an everyday ethical AI challenge that we if we don't know, we are already experiencing actually now. We are already experiencing these ethical challenges from AI. It's already happening, and I think Africa is like the prey. Do you know why? Because we don't have any policy, we don't have any guideline, we don't have any like you have the EU data privacy laws and all of that. We have the United States, the US privacy laws, but Africa, sorry, I tell you, we are so prone, we are so easy to be preyed on, and I will tell you, the age you are in today is not. It's about the. You heard about the global powers fighting and themselves and all that. They are actually using data, and using models through AI to achieve that. Is it that military powers, military wars, and all of that. So Africa, we're just like a sitting duck. I'll tell you the truth. They're a sitting duck, and anything happens to us, I'm telling you, we are fried out. And that's why we need to start understanding how to use technology, and how to know the adverse effects it has on us if used against us. Now, we're talking about a lot of things. So now I talked about bias in hiring tools and facial recognition. Now, to interest you, um, these are what's happening across the globe, and now the bias, in a sense, technically paint the picture. Now, there was the time in the US, and facial recognition. I don't think you know about facial recognition, where it helps you to analyze the face. I guess you guys have seen some movies where they'll be going through database, those like intelligence movies like the FBI and CIA, and they're doing some intelligence movies, and we've seen them going through faces in the database to track or catch maybe the suspect or the culprit or whatsoever. Now, the truth is this: these things have been built to. There's a case study I'll be talking later on. Have been built to not to so much understand how to detect maybe a lighter skin, or let me use what, not a lighter skin, maybe a Caucasian, which are mostly from the white, but more easy to identify someone else or give a false identification, mostly the blacks. And the truth is this: you can't blame. See, let me tell you something. Was something built? It was built by someone, and that person was a white man, maybe a Caucasian. So you'll be shocked that the database they will use will be mostly a database that will be biased. Now, if you are in a data, I'm a data scientist, and if you are looking about bias, this is what is fed into AI. AI is actually artificial intelligence built on data. So it is those data they use. So imagine now somebody collects your data. Okay, let me use a normal analogy, for example. Um, Somebody tells you about your sibling. Somebody, maybe a stranger, tells you about your sibling, and it gives maybe talking about a false narrative, blah blah blah, 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 everything. And that's okay. How does my sibling look like? And basically give you painting in a picture. And actually, it's not the person, because why? There is a kind of like they all fit in one basket. Sorry, that's how. Forgive me if you watch um, um, Wakanda. You hear what you say, the colonials and all of that. The white women, the colonials, they have this kind of a philosophy that okay, maybe if something goes wrong and a black man is there, the black man is the one that is wrong, or that is the offender, or is the culprit. But you can't blame them still, because these platforms or these softwares or these tools were built by them. And that's why we need to build on data privacy. Privacy is now, which is really happening currently on our mobile devices. Now you see, okay, let me speaker one. You see, you check an ad or you just click on something, you click on something, maybe on a different, maybe on Google, then you now open a different app, maybe Jumia or something, a different app, or you go to some a different app. You find out that you find that app showing on that platform. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Okay, has anybody experienced that kind of a thing? Let me get a reaction on that. Has anyone experienced that kind of a thing before? Um, anyone? Let me get a reaction. Nobody, yes or no. Have you ever experienced where, for example, you're okay, oh great, yes, that's it. You're on, maybe you saw an ad or you saw a something maybe on a website. Then you go somewhere else, you find it like they're pushing it on your face again. So that is what's happening. They are actually preying on your data, and Africa doesn't have those policies. Africa doesn't have those policies. Africa doesn't have all those things put in place to help protect, to help keep, to help make us make tenable decisions, to have us so that we don't fall prey to all this havoc. It's very, very important that we understand that this is actually what is happening. It's not going to be scary for us to be scared, but also understand that this is what is going on, and we start building ethical policies. Now, what we're trying to do is building awareness, building understanding, so that we can start working towards this and start building thought leaders that can say tomorrow, no, Africa has to build a framework that protects us and all of that. AI generated information, deepfake. I don't know if you have seen this movie called the G20. Has anyone seen this movie called G20? Where all the I don't know if you're gonna see G20. It's a movie where um the warrior watch this movie. This lady where she rather the warrior king, the lady working that when she acted and she was like American president, and they went to have a conference in South Africa, and they were talking about having a currency and a universal currency that can help break the borders of trade and all of that. And a group of terrorists what's it called them held all of them off stage, and they were doing what we call an AI deepfake. Okay, I don't know if you understand what we call AI deepfake. Let me explain it. An AI deepfake is like this. Um, an AI deepfake is like this. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Well, this is a training going to explain a lot of things. An AI deepfake is like this. It's what to do. They allow you to say some on altered words or letterings, and what happens is this: after you finish saying it while recording it, the AI deepfake creates a different version of you, placing you in a different environment and talking about something that is not true. That's AI deepfake. AI that's deepfakes. Deep fakes. I don't know. It's actually happening currently now. I saw it recently on YouTube. I saw a man. I saw somebody talking about it, and I pointed out that a man of God um, was actually two videos that was actually viral, and they were men of God talking about um what's it called now, about like God and the fact that what if God didn't say the way peer persons are talking about it these days, and we're saying a lot of things. And if you see the video, you will so much believe that it is real. It's so real that nothing will tell you that this is fake. Nothing will make you believe that it's fake. I'm telling you, you will not gonna believe that it's fake, because it just make it look so like this was really done, and this was really you see the background, you see the man of God preaching, you see the congregation. Really, I'm telling you about it. It was so real, and this is actually what's going to be happening in the future. It's going to happen in the future. Now, let's take it down to our leaders now. imagine you're having leaders where they can really concoct information and bring it to African leaders now, bring it to what they want. Um, the effect is actually adverse, and you get to believe it. Already, Africa, what's happening in Africa today. I can't tell you what's happening from the north to the south, from the east to the west. You get to see a lot of things happening across Africa, and that's one of the things we're trying to build: thoughtful leaders, leaders with integrity, leaders with purpose, and leaders who want to make impact in placing Africa first and not them or personal interest. So imagine all this kind of stuff like this deep fake now gets into a leader or a politician. Let me use that word politician, not use a leader now. A politician who wants to get into power by all means. Just imagine it. It's so scary, right? It's so scary. You can a lot of things can be put together. Now we have a lack of transparency in algorithmic decisions. Now, what does that mean is this: a lot of platforms. Um, it's. I'll tell you sometimes that okay. Let me just really go through one platform. I'm a good hacker, so I do a lot of strategy for businesses and all that. You see, when it comes like Instagram ads, I don't know if you guys have seen it. You see that the algorithm is actually very. It's somehow crazy. So most people don't get to understand what is going on there. So because why? It's being built to favor those who have more money. Does that make any sense? I don't know if anyone saying and is that making any sense. See, if I'm saying a lot, I will be saying a lot of deep things, and then I would like you guys to ask questions. Be dropping your questions or keeping them. So I'm going to make this conversation very, very interesting. Does that make any sense without your saying now? Anybody want to? Yes. Okay. Okay. So it tends to oh great. It tends to favor those who have more money and those who have a larger money to spend, but not to favor those who are meant to make impact. Okay, sorry about. So it tends to have um, that lack of transparency. You don't get to know what's happening behind. But some of us who have been in the system for quite a while, we know, oh, this is what these guys are doing. We're going to study their platforms, and we know this is actually how they are making it, and they're actually is it eating down on those who don't understand what's happening to them. Now, what I want us to understand is that we're talking about some of core principles of ethical AI. Now, I was just talking about the fairness um, to prevent discrimination in AI outcomes, transparency, um, understand how decisions are made, accountability. The users must own outcomes, then privacy, protect user data and consent, inclusiveness, ensure African languages and context are included. Now, I will take a stop here. I think I've spent some time, but I want to get our reaction on these five core principles of ethical AI: fairness, transparency, accountability, privacy, and inclusiveness. Can I get the first person to talk about something about on that? So, what do you feel as it relates um, this the core principles of ethical AI? Any question? Okay, you can raise up your hands. Okay. Okay. Nobody have any questions to say? Okay. Okay. I think okay, let me ask. Let me ask. Okay. Now, when it comes to what do you think about? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so what do you think about let me ask I'm looking at somebody. Okay, so if I don't get your name well, sorry, please. Okay, Dedokun, Dedokun. What do you think about fairness, um, fairness in when it comes to ethical area? What do you think? Don't you can okay if you can be free. You're free to speak. You don't have to know it all. You just have to just think. What do you think? Just like your thoughts. What do you think? Any other person want to say something? Okay. And look, you're free to speak, and anyone else can go ahead and also speak. MD, I think I see MD. I see Favor, Rings, Manuel. Anyone can go ahead and speak. Now, what do you think about fairness as we try and wrap up this section? Um, okay. Cyril,
So
you can. Okay, go ahead.
this is Mr. Donny. I'm looking at fairness in the sense of um, being just. That is,
Okay.
it says here that prevents discrimination in AI outcomes. We both know
Oh,
that AI has the positive side and the negative side, but there's a balance to it. We should not just look at the negative side and use it to outweigh the positive side of AI, and vice versa. That is what I think about fairness. Thank you,
okay.
sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's a great one. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other person? We're going to speak about transparency, accountability, privacy, and inclusiveness. I have one more slide to go for the session we're in. One more slide to go. Um, any other person? Don't be scared. This is a training ground, so we are all here to learn. So anybody can speak up. Serial. I think I can see Serial. Um, Favor. Okay,
Okay,
Serial.
sir.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, okay,
I want
Serial.
to speak.
Okay, you want
I
to go
want
ahead.
to
Go ahead. Go ahead.
let someone. Okay, I thought Mr. Siri wanted to speak.
Okay, okay,
Hello,
okay.
everyone.
Go. Okay, hi, Zero. Welcome.
Yeah,
We
good
go
evening
ahead.
to you.
Anyone? Good evening. Yeah, go ahead. You can go ahead with any of them. Transparency, accountability, privacy, and inclusiveness.
Okay, I think I'll go with privacy. From my understanding of privacy in ethical AI, privacy is a very crucial aspect of ethical AI development and deployment. And noting some factors such as data collection and usage, and also informed consent, whereby users need to be informed about their data being used to provide some consent. Also, data protection use because most of the times we can't just let our data be exposed on the internet. So there's every need for us to protect them. That's why we have privacy on our mobile phones, our gadget, just in case someone will not have access to our information. So it's very, very crucial ethical AI also because privacy is key whenever it comes to technology and the rest. So um, that's what I understand by it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Cyril. Thank you for that. That was a wonderful one. Any other person? Okay, if there's none, okay, let me just talk on one or two, then we'll just thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Cyril. That was nice, powerful. So you talk about fairness, talk about privacy. Let me just narrow down to transparency, accountability, and inclusiveness. Transparency. Um, as I said earlier on, from the use of algorithms, we don't know actually what happens. I'll tell you the sincere truth. Even we don't know. That's why you see a lot of big tech come to Africa, and it's like we are begging them to even come actually, and they prey on our data. If you watch the US Senate, you see the way they quiz them. You see where they quiz Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta. You see how they Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. You see they come to their Senate inquiry section. They ask them questions. They want to know what's happening. They want to be transparent what is going on. But seriously, in Africa, um, we don't know what's happening. We're just sitting duck, as I said earlier on. So transparency is one of the key things that we actually need to be required and be implemented for the ethical AI in Africa. So accountability, uh, we have to have people accountable. Because when there's no transparency, you can't know what to do. You can't even know what to ask. You don't know what questions to ask. Because even the data that we use here in Africa are actually contorted. They are actually false, not true. You see, to be sincere, actually, I'm a data scientist, and I'll tell you, there's one of the key things that anyone with key thing that a data scientist always talk about, which is data bias. Data bias. We're talking about data bias. We always say that African data is biased. There's none of them that is actually true. You get them from WHO and all of that. You see them pour out data for Africa, and everybody else run the IMF, they pour it out. So we don't actually know what is true. So we can't even know, we can't holding anyone accountable. Now, actually, those who build all these platforms or all these systems and all of that, um, they must be held accountable. Most of the times, you see people who build. I would tell people that developers or people who build all these things actually the uh, the the last decision makers. They're not the main decision makers. So this they it must be they must be responsible for everything outcome that comes from everything that happens on this ecosystem I'm talking about. Okay, for inclusiveness, um, you see a lot of a lot of now when you start building platforms, the AI platforms from Gemini, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Claude, um, DeepSeek, Grok. It's quite a lot. Most of them are all um they're chat based and all of that. None of we Africa has not built anything, and you can't um uh um uh actually we can't even go against or argue or fight it because we can't be talking about okay why don't they add Swahili, why don't they add Hausa, why don't they add Yoruba, why don't they add Igbo, why don't they add what's it called um um the Burkina language or the Cameroonian type of French or the Ghanaian so all we cannot even um argue it. Can't even argue it. We can't even come to a term where we can say, okay, this is what we need to because there's no inclusiveness and because we Africans are not part of it. So it's high time that we get in on board and start implementing our own thing. Where okay, it's for Africa, so we have an African there's Afrikaan. That is mostly from South Africa. They speak that too. This Swahili is spoken mostly by the East African countries. Yes, from the northern part of Africa, they speak more of Arabic and all of that. So we have a lot of all these things implemented that okay is for Africa and it's what we want and what we need. But if we don't have our own platform, our own system, that will be defeated. And that brings me to my last slide for this section. Then I will handle. I'll take a bow for the anchor to continue. So leadership for ethical AI. Now, please take note of these two questions. This slide. The core principles of ethical AI, which is the fairness, transparency, accountability, privacy, interest. Please take note of this. I'll be asking a question. Take note of it. You can do you can do a short form. You can call it tap tappy. I think that's no tappy. Transparency, accountability, privacy, inclusiveness, and fairness. I just gave you a short form now. Tappy. So you guys will be using it. So that's just a quick. So now leadership for ethical AI. Now empathy. We must understand how AI affects people. We must understand that what we're doing is actually to help us speed up things. Now, the last guest talked about we should understand that AI is meant to improve workflow for us, productivity, speed, excellence, and all of that. But it's not to replace us humans. It is we that are humans that replace people who don't have the knowledge about artificial intelligence. That's the positive thing about it. But that's why we have to be ethical users or ethical leaders. Because actually, I'll tell you, there will be wrong people who will be using AI to achieve evil means. But the more we build ethical leaders, AI leaders, we're going to have a situation where we can identify fake, identify the real, and speak about it. So empathy is one, because that's where empathy comes, understanding how AI affects people. Responsibility. Um, we must put a boundary. That's where, as leaders, there must be a boundary. Now, we all know how with the advent of technology, traditional technology, a lot of things came up. We're still having them, a lot of cyber attacks and all of that, stealing information, phishing of people's data and all of that. I'm telling you, you don't know what AI can do. AI can do the most, I will not call it the most unbelievable thing. I'll run up with the story, then I will tell you what AI can do. What happened in Google and Google's lab. Now, courage. Speak up when harm is possible. That's it. That's why we are building ourselves, ethical leaders. We need to speak up when harm is possible. Because I know now, if you don't understand where the limit of AI, you don't feel responsible, you don't have empathy, you may not have the courage to speak because you don't have the understanding of what it can do. So it's very important that we have the courage. But this courage is built from knowledge and of understanding because you cannot give what you don't have. I guess you know that, right? Now, lastly, about vision. Use AI to solve real African problems. Now, it all boils down like a chain reaction. The last one ends with the vision, with empathy, with a responsibility to how to use the AI and knowing the boundaries and how to build the sense of loyalty to the fact that if this is wrong, we speak up with courage. That's the only time we can build systems that can help solve African problems. That's the only way. And it starts from building an ethical AI leadership philosophy or psychology. And that is what this section is helping to do. Now, before wrap up, I will say this. Now, I'll tell you a story. It happened in Google Lab. Google, they were building, as I'll say, I think the last session said it, the big tech companies have been using AI for a long time. Now, whenever you hear algorithm, I guess you guys have heard algorithm, right? How many persons have heard algorithm even before now? like some years back before now? How many persons have heard about that word algorithm? Algorithm. Let me see a
I
reaction.
heard it, sir.
Okay,
Oh,
like some years back, algorithm. Okay, algorithm. These are AI. Don't be, this is AI. We have been algorithm some years back, but many persons knew that these things are AI. They actually not. When you say algorithm, say human being. No, it's actually AI. They are models built to study human thoughts, study human actions, study human flows. Okay, let me quickly do one. Now, when you go to Telegram, not what's it called, Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, see what happens when you swipe, right? As you swipe and as you like that video or like that post, notice they'll give you similar video or similar content. What is happening? That is what that is algorithm, and it is built with artificial intelligence to study your thoughts. As you are looking at the screen, how do you know what you are looking at? It's your reaction. For example, if you spend, let's say you watch a video from the beginning to the end, are you getting me now? That means you liked it. So they will give you a similar video. And if you click on like, it also means that you actually have a very strong interest in it. And you'll keep on bringing similar. But if you just swipe out, they will not bring anything like that again because they believe that okay, they track it by seconds or by view time. I'm telling you, this is what happens in the background. This is what they do. These are the models are built. Now, also in data science, they call in data engineering or AI engineering, they call models. You build models, AI engineering. You build models to study the way user interaction, how users interact with platforms, how they work with it, they use it, the number of hours or seconds, or if a video is like 10 minutes, did they watch it fully? Did they stop at 1 second to like say 10 seconds? That means that video is not like 1 second to like say 9 minutes. It means that video was like. I'm telling you, all these are what happens behind. And these are large data of trillions of terabytes of zillions of bytes that are being processing, and it's done by AI. So now that boils to the story I will tell you guys. So we wrap up. Sorry, Anchor, I'm sorry. So now the story is this. So Google, their lab, their scientists were building a model, an AI, so that it can speak, it can have their own language. So they were like just one thing about scientists. That's why we have ethical AI. They have to call ethics in all the things we are doing. Because if you don't have ethics, if you don't have like ethics, you can refer to ethics as like a norms, like a norm, like a guide or a policy, which actually is. I think ethics is like a policy which like protects from things getting out of hand. So they were developing the platform, and when they were done, they were shocked how these models were communicating with themselves. These models were communicating with themselves in an unknown language that they built by themselves. They were so scared and they had to quickly shut down the lab. They shut down the lab and they destroyed it totally. So that no one can get hold of it or no power, nothing, no one can use it for any harm. And this is where this is what we actually talking about. This is where we're fighting and building this knowledge base on. If AI gets into the wrong hands, it's going to be very impossible for us to do great things. And Africa will be like a sitting duck. Now, I'll wrap up with this. Leadership is not just about building AI, it's about building trust. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the first section. Thank you, Uncle. You can take over.
you, Mr. Solomon. Please let's give a round of applause for Mr. Solomon Opako for that very wonderful session. Let me see your hands up, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was inspiring and was inspiring. I really enjoyed that session. And we are going on a very quick break. And in the next 10 minutes, The next 10 minutes, I want us to go to the comment section. There'll be links to refer people to join the next section as the program still continues, and to fill certain forms and get along and ask questions. So kindly head to the chat box, and there'll be someone there waiting for us to reply to our questions, our queries, and our inquiry concerning the first session. So thank you so much. Now we'll be going into another stage of FTL Africa of today's program webinar, which will be about the AI Vanguard Quest, and I'll be anchoring this also. Now, welcome to the AI Vanguard Quest, a transparency journey to equip Africans professionals with AI and leadership skills for global impact. And when AI Vanguard, we are going to be optimism about the first step of impacting into Africa's leadership. Please, the next slide. Sorry about this. So our program overview is that there is a three-tier training program designed to empower African professionals to lead an AI-driven world. And this program involves the beginner stage, the intermediate, and the advanced, which also has a goal of addressing African and global challenges in agriculture, in healthcare, in education, and beyond. So why now? Why are we so persuasive about AI? Because it is the what? It is the future, and we're trying to reshape Africa's future with the need for these skills. So we are going to be talking about these tiers as we proceed in our sessions. Please, the next slide. Now, tier one, which is the ignition trial, as I discussed last week, if you were here, and for those joining, tier one involves the fundamentals, which is the focus of digital literacy, self-leadership, outcome, and how to utilize AI for productivity, understanding AI's industry impact, and AI fundamentals. That is for tier one, which involves a 3 weeks summation to learn and dive deep into AI. Now, in tier two, which is the Pathfinder charge, for 12 weeks, we're going to be focusing on how to use these intermediate skills. We're going to be focusing on how to use these intermediate skills, these tools, and the ethical consideration, the outcomes, and the designs, and how to manage this AI product. Now, in the fourth tier, which is the Vanguard effect, which is going for 3 months, we are going to have strategic AI implementations, policy development, ecosystem building, and what lead innovation initiative. That is, we're going to show forth what we've learned. Thank you so much. Now, the traditional roads to leadership involves the migration map, which guides us to AI-centric careers through strategic upskilling, the adaptation which involves our skills, and opportunities to unlock roles like AI developer, AI ethics, and chief AI officer. That is, they are going to be series of courses that we can look inwards and dive into and make requests or questions on in order to get the advanced knowledge of these courses in the tier one in the forthcoming tiers. Also, we can push ourselves into learning the basics of software development and AI architecture. Next slide. I want to quickly summarize all this in a few minutes. So our focus, as I said earlier, the core concept of learning and automation, digital literacy using AI for tools and tools for productivity, self-leadership, which involves strategic thinking and ethical decision making. Now, why tier one? The foundation is the basics for every successful journey, which involves a solid foundation for local and what international markets. And the outcomes of this is that we are going to apply certain AI tools, such as ChatGPT, Notion AI, to enhance productivity. Now, tier one works by week one, which involves a duration of 4 weeks. In, by tier one, which involves a duration of 4 weeks rather. And these 4 weeks involves night classes, which are on Friday, Saturdays, and Sunday, with a 3 to 4 hours a week, covering all AI concept tools and leadership. Now, the capstone project, which involves a week of building with simple AI tools, and the another week for presentation and demo day before expert panels. Also, we're going to be having some delivery of what we've worked on, and we're going to be presenting it, and also receive a certificate upon completion. And this certificate is very, very important. It's part of your materials and what you get for this program. Now, we're exploring 16 AI domains, that is 16 areas of opportunities in AI in which you can find yourself to fix in or find something to learn towards or find an interest in. Now we have AI for software development, we have AI for UI UX design, which you can become a UI assistant, a AI UI assistant in, or a AI prompt writer, also a AI developer or an AI module manager. We have AI for data analysis, we have AI for cybersecurity, we have AI for product management, which includes AI risk aware analyst, AI security analyst, AI data explorer, and AI product assistant. Also, we also have other uses for AI in the aspect of digital marketing and business analysis and policy compliance. We also have AI to train and educate us towards learning. And also, we have AI for executive leadership. If you want to become a vision explorer in AI, there is opportunities open to you to learn. And also, if you are interested in AI research and policy for Africa, you can become a policy advocate in AI and more. Next. So, the local case studies for AI involves the use of AI for agriculture, which is the basics of AI or the parts of AI we have not dived into in Africa. Also, in our healthcare system and in education, we can also use it for, we can also apply AI skills in these parts, which are the local areas. Now, for global relevance, that is projecting FTL Africa across all global levels, we have universal skills, that is software development and cybersecurity. We also have the opportunity to collaborate with global ecosystem and address global challenges, which involves climate change, digital inclusions with African perspective. And the accessible tools, as I said earlier, ChatGPT, Canva, Nation AI, Google Colab, Triton, these are available locally and globally. Now, the impact of what we are doing is equipping participants to solve African challenges and drive innovation. So, in tier one, we are going to be giving a 4 week class on the core AI concepts, the practical tools used for AI, learning more on self-leadership, goal setting, and ethical decisions to make global context, and African case studies and global studies. We're also going to build a simple powered app, and we're going to receive guides from mentors. Also, the presentation of certificate comes upon the completion of those steps. Now, why should tier one? We have digital badges for verifiable credentials. With what we are learning here, we are opening an opportunity to not just be retain to Africa alone, but also to diaspora. Also, the mentorship we're receiving is top tier, as we are also looking outside Africa to get a lot of intensive learning. Also, the alumni network, which involves FTL's global community for support and collaboration. These are parts of basics of choosing what tier one. These are the privileges you are entitled to when you choose tier one. That is when you come in fully. Now, um, I've spoken on this earlier, which is the step to global leadership, which involves the tiers, tier one, tier two, tier three. And I'll be welcoming for the next session of FTL Africa today, of the session 5.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being patient thus far. And let me get a quick feedback. How's the section been? What have you learned? I'll be dropping something on the section on the chat box. I guess we know where the chat box is, right? I want us to use it. You see chat, CHAT, go to the chat box, and I'm dropping something. It's the FTL Africa Ethical AI Self Assessment Checklist. So I want you guys to go click on it. Um, Click on it, and you just to take you 2 minutes and be able to fill it. Why comment on this section? Okay, I think that is out there. So let me get a reaction and drop your questions. Let's engage on this section. I want us to be a two-way. So quickly, remember I told you guys about we stopped at the ethical AI leadership and the impact it has on us as Africans. And also, don't forget this part too. It's the reason why we see now asking about it. So, tools for responsible AI. Now, we have the UNESCO AI ethics recommendations. We have the AI fairness checklist, IBM partnership on AI. We have the Google's AI principles. We have the Open Data Institute data ethics canvas. Now, let me quickly say this. The ethics about AI has been there for a long, long time. And I'll tell you about some of those people who have been fighting for it. One of the notable voices has been fighting on the ethical use of AI. And not just for just actually for how it affects the black race, be it Africans, be it blacks all over the world. And it has been out there for quite a long time. Now, these are the responsible tools that are out there currently. Now you see here now, to be sincere, with all fairness, no one has been built by Africa. Are you getting point? Are you getting me now? No one has been built by Africa. And let me just do an analogy for you now in your mind. Imagine you have a family and somebody using another family to judge how things is done in your own family. So that's what we're experiencing actually. So Africa doesn't have anything built. Now if you look at this now, all these are mostly UNESCO, US, Google, US, IBM, US, Open Data Institute, this should be US and Europe. So now you see the Europe, the Western world, they have something to really work on, but we don't have anything to work on. So imagine that being judged on somebody else information or data or background or thought process. I'll be checking out the form. So that I want to see our response to this form to the FTN Africa Ethical AI Self Assessment Checklist. Please, I want you guys to fill it. We'll give the response right on the call, right on the section now. So these are some of the responsible AI platforms that are currently on. Now that's why if you notice, you heard about AI policy advocate. So we also want to be building, also be responsible leaders who can start working on building the awareness on building an AI policy for Africa. So we need to start building, and we are the only ones that can build it for ourselves. Someone else cannot do it for us. I guess we know that, right? So, Africa-centric ethical considerations. Now, see what I was talking about earlier on. Um, Colonial data bias in AI training sets. I said that a bit earlier on, like for facial recognition, for um, for um, for language, for maybe thought process or lifestyle and all of that. Because do you know what? You know, Africans, we have our kind of things we do, our way of life, our culture, and everything that makes us unique from the Western world. Yes, I said painted the picture earlier on. Imagine somebody judging you based on what they believe or what they think is right. That does not work actually work. So you have the Western world. Now, to be interested, I don't know if you guys believe in history. Um, Africa has been colonized several times, not just by the British, the French, the Dutch, or the Spanish. Think yes, think yes. The Spanish, no, Spanish did not actually. I don't think so. They didn't colonize Africa. No, no, they didn't come here. They didn't come here. It's if you see the West, if you see the South America, that's what the Spanish went to. Now, if it interests you, it's good for read history and watch a lot of maybe history movies. Um, you're gonna see about that Africa has been colonized by the Portuguese even before the British and the others came. I don't know if you guys watch Shogun. Yeah, that movie. Yes, you tell you about the history. What about history? We know about history. If you know about history, we don't know about how this bias has been there for a long time. And if we is it Shogun? Be Shogun? Yeah, I think that's right, Shogun. If you we don't start building our own identity now, I'm telling you, it will be catastrophic when the Western world start building for us. We need to start building our own identity. We need to start training our own data. We need to start equipping ourselves with skills and with knowledge. And that's what FT Africa is doing. We're putting that awareness, building a system. The anchor talked about when presenting talking about the AI um, ignition trail, the program, the training. It tends to build that foundation where it gives you that strong resilience to understand what to do, how to implement the use, and how to use it ethically well. Now, you see, culture, I said about culture, so about language, they're often excluded from global AI tools, actually. They're often excluded. I think it was Google that started bringing in languages and all of that. Maybe if you're in like Africa, you just seen, I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. You see your browser, when you Google, when you browse, you see that your searches will show a certain language. It's Google. Or Google started becoming more, but the truth is this: nobody can do it for you. Just like you see the West, you see like China, they are doing their things by themselves. Universities, I have quite a lot of contact friends, business partners who are there, and they'll tell you that China does has everything. They have their own what's it called? Their own Facebook. It's called WeChat. They have their own Google. They have their own. Just name it. They have their own. Everything they have it because nobody can build it. Nobody can build it for you. Only if you build it for yourself or by yourself. And that's where we need to start coming in, start building system. I see in Africa where we have our own data center. Now, a lot of us, some of us who are into tech developers, we are building software. You hear data centers in United Kingdom, data centers in United States, several in other parts of Europe, data centers in Asia, and all of that, but none in Africa. You will never find any. Because why? There's no profitability. We don't have power. We don't have many things to help this. So if we start building this kind of this leadership, psychology and training ourselves that see this Africa, we are the only one that can build it for ourselves and give us ourselves what we what can help us become what we need to be, self-independent, self-reliant, free from all any other external influence. Uh, Imagine our data is hosted abroad without legal protection. That's it. Anybody can take our data. I can tell you a lot of research I've done about how our data has been infiltrated several times. We've been used. I'm telling you, our data is being used because in Africa, no policy, nothing of that. I was listening to particular Mumba. I don't know if you know particular Mumba. He was talking about that Africa is not self-independent. Although we are independent, we're not independent at all. Because like, if you want to send money to somebody from Nigeria, to somebody that's in the Swift service, you know, those who are into the in fintech and all of that, you know about the Swift service. Those who do foreign or freelance job, you don't pay you. They are Swift, Swift, you Swift. And notice what happens is that when somebody sends you um or somebody you want to send money or you want to receive money from someone a client as maybe it's in United Kingdom or is in Europe, the money goes to the US first, then before it start coming to you, or go to Switzerland, then first start coming to you anywhere in the world. Now see it comes to you straight. So your database, your personality is stored somewhere else. Imagine that. So we are not protected in any way. Actually, don't be deceived. Not protected in any way. The more advanced we get, the more we need to start being ethical in our approaches in saving our data. And so you get no legal protection. Anybody can buy it. Now, the one you understand is that data is the next gold. You see them fighting about gold, fighting about crude oil. That's why they are fighting about data. People are spending millions and billions of dollars in getting data and so-called data mining. The Western world are mining our data every day. Every day. I can tell you platforms that are mining our data in Nigeria without any restriction, free of charge. That's about very, very scary it is. Need for homegrown policies and governance. So that's what I'm talking about. A homegrown policy and governance that protect us. And we are the ones that can do it. So let's not start waiting for leaders, political leaders out there, because so actually, the saying that says you can't give what you don't have. And that's just the truth. So this activity, ethics in action. So I want everybody to be an interactive section. I want us to pick an AI use case, either a chatbot. We have several chatbots. Um, the popular one, ChatGPT. Everybody knows that one. I don't know if anyone knows about any grading app or a loan app. I think we all should either we use let me not give us something don't know. And we all know the popular chatbot, which is ChatGPT, and we also know about any loan app. So let's look at how one apply ethical principle and one FTL Africa value. I don't know if you can remember in the culture where the anchor was talking about the FTL Africa culture, the FTL value rather during the cultural presentation. I don't know if anybody can remember it, but there's a gift, a package, a tech package that I'll be sending. I'll give that person. If anyone can get one of it, don't worry. Now look at it. This activity is this one. I'll give you. Everybody will have like 160 seconds. What ethical case on ChatGPT with a chatbot that you think we can apply ethical principle. Now the question I'm going to do now, I'm going to do like start with this way. Who can mention one ethical principle as I spoke on earlier? One ethical principle and one FTL Africa value. Who can mention it? Let me see anybody that can mention it. You can either type it or you say it. Let me see who can get it. Anybody? I remember I gave you guys a. Okay, I can see Siri typing. Who else is following? Okay. Yeah, remember I told you guys that those who have been following from section 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's the same question I will ask you. Now the question is this: what are FTF Africa values, core values? Future Tech Leaders Africa values. That is also part of it. So that I also want to mention one, just one. Okay, accountability. Okay, okay, that's one. Okay, now that's for accountability. Okay. Then what about for FTF Africa value? You got one to go. Fairness and privacy, okay. Prince, okay. Fairness and privacy, okay. That's still for the ethical principle. Now, what about FTF Africa value? Nobody has gotten that one yet. I'm waiting. Let's see we'll get that. Oh, that's it. Somebody just got it. Empathy for FT Africa, transparency for okay, favor has gotten that. Okay, innovation, FT Africa, correct. Still got that. So 2 pencils now. Okay. Okay, yes, favor got that. Favor got the 2. Okay. Also still we got 2. Still we got 1 for ethical principle and 1 for FT Africa value. Here we got 1 for ethical principle and 1 for FT Africa value. Okay, that means my gift is for them. Nobody else that was able to get them. Okay, now no worries. Your gift is chilling, it's hot. You get a course, a tool, either a tool, I'm not decided yet, either a tool on AI. Definitely, you're gonna get a tool on AI. We'll give you some crazy prompts to build your AI productivity. So now the next activity. The next activity is this. Present your ethical leadership recommendation. Now you're getting 2 from here. Now you're picking ChatGPT as a case study. So I want you now to present it. I want you to present it. Present your ethical leadership recommendation. So let's see the first person that will do this. Okay. Okay, I said I'll give you guys 60 seconds, right? Okay, let me use you guys 60 seconds. Now, let me just explain the scenario. Let me give an idea. I have to go around it. Like, for example, now, here we said accountability, which is for the ethical principle, and innovation, which is for FT Africa case, and value rather. So what you now do now is this. You're going to present your ethical leadership recommendation based on those 2. How we can, as an ethical leader, help to implement this in the use case of AI. For example, now ChatGPT. So Siri, do you get that? So I don't know if you got a good question. Yeah. So present your ethical. No, you don't have to be scared. It's a training section, please. We are all learning, and as one prof once said, no answer is wrong. no answer is wrong. It might just be that the answer is not for that question, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. So so what's your take, guys? Guys, let me see you guys talking. Let me see you guys engaging. Okay, I think I did. Okay, one. Okay, you guys still have like 40 seconds left. I'm going to repeat it again. Now, let's take example of Serial. Serial talks about accountability for the ethical principle. Then for FTL Africa value, it talks about innovation. So um, put that together and present your ethical leadership recommendation. We're waiting. We have, I think we still have 20 seconds left. Don't be scared. You can say anything or I can call you. So I'll be free to speak. Okay, 10 seconds left.
Let me
Okay.
just say this.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I may be, I may not be 100% right, but let me just say this. I think for the ethical leadership recommendation, let me use, for example, this accountability. I think it's by prioritizing ethical leadership, the accountability. That means we can be able to build trust in AI systems and also ensure their benefits. I don't know if I'm wrong or if I'm right. Sorry.
No, correct. Please go ahead. Please continue, please.
Okay, so like I said, um, for the accountability, right? We can build trust in AI systems and also ensure their benefit in society. For example, like accountability has to do with keeping accurate data and information. By so doing, AI helps in keeping this what do you call keeping these informations of our systems and data. So
Thank
that's
you.
it. That just is for me. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's powerful. Please appreciate him. Please appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. That was a very powerful one. Yeah. We're still waiting for more. We're still waiting for more. Please. That was a nice one. Thank you, Cyril. Thank you, Cyril. So what else again? Let's wait. Let's wait. Let's wait. Let's wait. Let's have it. 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 Ade, Ade. Okay. What do you have to say? Ade, what do you have to say? You don't have to be scared. You can just speak. I can let me. What I'll do is this. I just do a quick rundown. I just run down to the ethical principle. Or no, 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 do that. Can somebody put all the ethical principles on the chat box? Let's see. All the ethical principles. Who can do that? Can do that. All of them. I gave a short form. Who can remember and put that on the chat box? Who else again can come up a day? I think I have Kayode. Yeah, Kayode is here. Okay, Kayode, hi. Good to meet you. Have you around. I also have Emmanuel. Um, um, Dido too. Okay. So, guys, nobody else again. Oh, fairness, transparency, with privacy. Wow. Siri is the bomb. More flowers. Siri, that's great. Siri is hot. Okay. Oh. I have to give. Okay. Siri, that's great. Powerful. Yes. Siri, more for you. More gifts are coming. More gifts. Who else? Who else? Yes, told me more gifts. Okay, yes, told me got it clearly too. Nobody else. Okay, let's see. Okay, Imanu awareness. Okay, we're talking about the ethical principles. We gave a short form of it, and we said can I say TAPIF, transparency, accountability, privacy, inclusiveness, and fairness. TAPIF. I gave it. You guys forgot. I told you guys. Don't forget this. I said it earlier on, and that's very one. Emmanuel, thank you for that awareness. Thank you. So okay, so let me quickly do let me do my own. See nobody else could come up. Emmanuel, Moses, sorry, rather. Siri, thank you so much for that. So let me do mine. So now I'll be using um um uh transparency. Siri talked about accountability. Then I'll be using um empathy for FTL Africa core values. I'll be using transparency and empathy. So now this is my presentation for ethical leadership recommendation. So in the use case of AI, implementing to meet Africa's need, transparency is what will help us um, build that desired um, inclusiveness, which is actually about trust. Now, I'm talking about other things now, but transparency makes us believe that what we are doing is we are safe, we are part of it, it's going to bring a lot of benefit to us and build quite a lot of trust in it. And that brings about empathy, knowing that this is for us, this affects us positively, and this builds our growth as Africans. And that can only be done by us, for us, and not by anyone for us. Are you getting me now? So just a quick one. Let me just quickly say this. Now on Twitter, I saw something recently on there put like and lambasting this all this fight for immigration and all of that and in America, and they were saying um um you know third world countries we should not be being so like so linear to third world countries for them to do what they can do because they need our help, just like Africa. I was like, really? So this is how they think or they feel we are, not knowing that actually without Africa, the world does not even function. Interesting, if you don't know now. All your PC, all the metals, the materials, the raw materials, your devices, the build of semiconductors of machines, all the metals, the alloys. I'll tell you, everything is from Africa. Crude oil, uranium, gold, diamond. You can just keep on the list are endless. They're from Africa. Limestone, Africa. And the truth is this. That's why you cannot go outside the country or go abroad and come and become the richest man or richest African. It's not possible. Yes, you'll be well to do, you will be okay. But look at the case study. Because they have been able to, one, build something for Africa. That's what makes them to stand out. Like we have Paystack, Flutterwave, the tech in tech space, and we now have we also have those industrialists like Dangote and the others. Actually, they did not go to the US to go and open their refinery whatsoever. They did it in Africa, yeah. So that tells you that the only way for us to build trust, build that transparency, and build that empathy is when it is centered or it is made for us by us and with us in mind. So that's my own summation. So now quickly, let me quickly run down on this. Now I'm thinking about some ethical African leaders that I want us to click on this. Okay. Uh, uh, Google this lady, Dr. Timmy Gabriel, and go to our Wikipedia and read about her. She's an Ethiopian and she actually fought. She has really fought for ethical AI. She has really fought for the blacks. How the need for ethical AI for the black race. How she has worked for Apple, worked for Microsoft, worked for Google, where she was sacked when she wrote because she's a PhD holder when she wrote a research on the impact of AI, and she talked extensively about how the what's it called without these tappies, let me call it tappies, um, without all those things, transparency, there's no fairness, inclusiveness, and there's no privacy. It tends to affect how this technology affects us as it's being interpreted. So if she wrote something, a thesis with somebody research, and that was why Google got angry, said, "Oh, you must remove that research, you must have application, or else finally they sack her." She has been in the foreign, and this has happened in 20. She has been on AI, on artificial intelligence, on since 2016, 2017. That tells you that everything we are seeing now has been being worked on by some persons so many years ago. So these are some of the persons that have been actually before pushing AI and all of that. And she's a founder and executive director of the database of AI Research Institute. And she's out for the fact that these things must be used well and must not there must be fairness in it. There must be transparency in it. Now, also have what called the unwanted weakness Uganda. So in Africa, sincerely, I won't lie to you. It's only Uganda that has a policy on data usage, and I don't even think it's even so strong. I think it's but it what I can what my research is everything they do in our Uganda do not have a a privacy policy that before you can use any information from any person, any Ugandan, you must request the permission of the owner of that data or the user of that data. You can't use that data. You can't use that person data without the person outright permission. It's only Uganda that has anything about that. Only Uganda. Africa, Nigeria is currently creating awareness as local DSN, and it's a local ethical AI solution. They're also trying to build systems, but actually they're actually building awareness about AI and but not building more about data use, the use of data and the positive and all of that. Because what you should understand that everything about AI is built on data. But there are things about awareness, but nothing about AI ethics, AI privacy, AI use cases, and AI inclusivity and fairness. So that has no part. So I will tell you outrightly, it's only Uganda that's actually doing something that's actually making impact or talking about this is how our data must be used and it cannot be used without an outright uh, permission or approval from the owner. So uh, personal reflection. Um, what's your personal reflection now for all we've talked about? Now, I want to let you know is this: we are talking about this is why we need to start building ethical AI, ethical understanding of the use of artificial intelligence. Not saying AI is evil. No, just like okay, when technology came, technology everyone started shouting about technology is the evil part. Technology actually, the traditional technology actually has its own downside, but a lot of it helped us. We could build systems, we could build marketing platforms, we could build websites, we could build quite a lot of things with traditional but still a lot of persons use it for evil purpose. But that is why we need to start building on why the ethical use of AI is very important. so that we will be aware. We can fight against it. We can work towards it. Start building leaders who are AI advocates, AI policy advocates. Start talking about now. Let's start building policies that safeguard our data. No company can come to Nigeria, to Ghana, to Morocco, to South Africa, to Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, to Burkina Faso. Great country. They are doing great things. Actually, they are blocking a lot of nonsense entering their country. So if we can start having such things like, sorry, you can't come into our country as a company, and you start like requesting data without the user approving or accepting. So that is where the awareness are building. But I'll tell you, the impact of artificial intelligence is going to revolutionize Africa. And those of us who are getting into it now, and will be the forerunners, will be the pace setters, will be the leaders. Because statistically in 2030, which is just 5 years from now, to shock you, the 3,000 jobs that we know using AI, sorry, in traditional technology will disappear. I'm talking about every field, from health to production to agriculture to logistics to just name it. They are so they feel so much. So labor, it's going to revolutionize. If you don't know now, in China, in city called Guangzhou, you can be in a park and just order pizza, and a drone will come to a drop station, brings the pizza, drop it in that place. You just use your phone to scan the code, and it communicates with it. That's AI. See, let me tell you, some countries are really going far. It scans it, it knows that your identity, it picks your identity, it makes the payment, and it delivers your product. A drone drops it. A drone, not a human. Now, also staying in China too. It could be like, those that 20 floors, 30 floors, those are skyscrapers, 50 floors. Somebody can just come to the lobby area, that which is the last floor, and just maybe you order for an item, you drop inside a machine, you just type the person's room number and person's ID and everything. The machine, it moves, start moving, enter the elevator, and goes to the person's floor and drops it. See, this is where we are going to. The powerful use of artificial intelligence, it's mind blowing. The use is mind blowing. But the fact is, Africa, we are in the dark. We are still grappling with tech. Not only that, the whole rest of the world, they have left all the traditional tech. They are moving into the future, emerging technology, and Africa has to be in that line. And that's where FTL Africa is pushing. And that this program, a program that the Anchor talked about earlier, which is the AI ignition show, the trainings. Don't miss it. Refer a friend, talk about it, make noise about it. It's for us, Africa. And I just read now the on the chat box. I just read it's you're not paying for it. It's free. It's free and it's totally free. It's just you're paying a commitment fee, which is actually for those people who are seated there. So it's not because you are paying for it, because the AI, it's so quite out of the reach of Africans. Now that's the word, based on the cost implication. It's out of the reach. You'll be hearing like $1,000. No African has that, because Africa, we're trying to like grapple with the economical situations that we are facing right now. But if we say let's wait to get better, I'm sure it will never get out of where it is right now until we start providing means, equipping ourselves on how we could push ourselves from where we are right now to where we ought to be. So I want you to have a personal reflection. How can you be ethical in your space, the use of AI? How do you speak about the use of AI? How do you see it? Actually, AI is not replacing humans or replacing the workforce. As I said earlier on, 33,000 jobs will disappear, but 17,000 jobs will be replaced by it, and they'll all be AI. Now, you see AI software engineer, AI advocate, AI developer. These are the fields that will come up. AI automation. I really get your head about AI agents. Who build those things? They're not the traditional web designer or web developer or UI UX. No. They are AI engineers. So the AI agent was built by AI engineers, AI automation experts. They're the one that built those things. So that, and if you get to hear the I want somebody to quickly Google now. Google how much you pay an AI engineer, or how much what's the salary of an AI automation specialist. Somebody could quickly Google for us. Let's know on the call. Somebody can Google for, let's see how much an AI automation specialist. Let's see. Somebody Google it. Let's see how much the pay for an AI automation specialist. Let's see. Let's see. We'll drop it first. Let's see. We'll drop it first on the chat box. Let's see. We'll drop it first. Let's see. We'll drop it first. Let's see. We'll drop it. Let's see. We'll drop it. Let you know how much, because what you should understand is that the traditional tech is evolving and is being replaced with artificial intelligence. Now you see digital marketing. Now I don't know if you guys have noticed, whenever you Google something, you see that Google itself will give you an explanation of that thing before you start seeing a website that gives the explanation of it. Who has seen that? Who has seen that? When you Google something, on Google, you see an explanation first from Google telling you about it. Has anybody seen that? Can you just react? Can react? Okay. Yes. Okay. True. Okay. Great. That tells you we are moving very fast. Very, very fast. We're moving very fast. Now, those are all called SEM, search engine marketing. What happens is that it was people that built platforms, built websites. So Google picks it before, and before now, when Google picks something, it will not show you the website that is talking about all those searches. But now, Google now on its own gives you a search result. And most times, that search result it gives you, it totally satisfies everything you're looking for. I don't know if you have ever tried it, who have used it that way. Who has done that before? That tells you that, see, what we are going on is that search engine marketing is dying. Or it has died. Actually, not it has died, it has died. So if you are still talking about SEO, the SEO is still there, but I'm telling you now, we're also having SEO agents, search engine optimization AI agents that are being built currently. And the time will come, all those things will be controlled by people, search engine agent optimizers, AI SEO specialists. Start using them, using AI. Everywhere is AI. Nobody's doing traditional stuff again. So I don't know who got that, who has done the searches, who got the pay or the salary of an AI automation specialist. Who got that? Did anybody get that information?
That's not about we leak.
Whoa. That is serious. Who is shocked too? So it's going to get crazier. It's going to get crazier, and this is where we are heading to. Where we're heading to now. That's why we need to start preparing ourselves. Now you were telling yourself that 5 years from now, I guess 5 years is far from now. So sorry. The truth is this: before 5 years now, a lot of jobs will disappear. Now, do you know that content writers are already disappearing? Who can confirm that? Content writers are disappearing because why? With the right kind of prompt engineering skill, you can write
a content that will blow anybody's mind. Content writers that used to think about are disappearing. Bloggers, what's it called? Blog writers are disappearing. Blog creators, a lot of roles, skills are disappearing gradually. Email copywriters are disappearing also because AI can give you an email series that will convert. So everything is changing gradually. Now, I'll tell you now, product designers will soon disappear. Product designers, graphics, the normal graphic designer we think about will soon disappear. But what will make them who are still to be relevant is when they now acquire AI skills. It's what they acquire AI skills and make them to become, because while others are still grappling with designing with their AI, all of that, sorry, with their traditional graphics software, and those who are already using AI to enhance their work, you see them, those ones will disappear. That's how it is. Very soon, web designers will disappear because one of our sections, we saw how our guests built a website using an AI. I don't know if anyone was there. Was anyone there? Was anyone there? Don't know if anyone was there in that section. Let me get a reaction. You know what was there. Okay, great. So how our guest speaker built what's called built a website with AI in less than 5 minutes. So web designers will disappear. A lot of this will be going so rapid that it's actually when we start implementing all the skills and start tapping into all the AI skills, that will be for our own good.
So the opportunity of FT Africa is for everyone. Don't lose it. Make use of it. This is the first session, and I want you guys to do so. And I want you to understand that it's for Africans. And as we go ahead, as we get in more people to collaborate, to partner, a lot of offers, a lot of services will be available to everyone. Now, I want to do that personal reflection. That should be a question we should all ask ourselves. How can you lead ethically in your space? What AI responsibility will you commit to this week? Ask yourself that question. As a future tech leader, a future tech leader, you can add that part. I will use AI to then you complete that part. Now, let me quickly see the response. We only have 2 responses. Why? We only have 2 responses. And let me see. We only have 2 responses. Okay. So we have okay. Now we will give a summary of what was so what we based on the score. So we're looking at ethical, aligned, and needs review and reassessment required. So I think ethical alignment had 80%. I came up more. Build and learn. Final comments, actions, build and learn. Okay, none. So so ethical alignment is key, and it's one of the most important things that are going to really help us to achieve what we want to achieve as Africans. So on your own, write that part. On the chatbots, write this part. As a future leader, I will use AI to what while ensuring this. Let's do that quickly. Then we'll be calling it a day. Let me leave this for like 5 seconds and I'll remove it. As a future leader, I will use AI to type it on the chat box while ensuring let everyone of us type it. Type it. Let's 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 type it. As a future leader, I will use AI to dash while ensuring dash. Okay, mine. Let me do mine. Who's dropping this one first? Okay. Okay, Linda, as official leader, I'll use AI to increase my work productivity. Great, great, awesome. Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Who's following? Who's following? Who's following as we wrap up? Okay. One more to go. I'm looking out for everyone. Say as a future leader. Okay. As a future leader, I will use AI to enhance the potential in my business sector. Powerful, great. Emmanuel, as a future leader, I will use AI to create accountability. Great, awesome. Prince, as a future leader, I use AI to increase my workflow. Powerful. As a future leader, I use AI to ease my office work while ensuring fairness. Oh, I like that. That's great. I like. So always make sure you use the ethical principles, and I want us to have that in mind too. Ethical principle. As a future leader, I will use AI to increase agricultural yield in Nigeria. Powerful. Wow. That is so powerful. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. That's so powerful. We start thinking in this line. We need AI. Now, let me tell you one quick one on AI use in China, in India. Now, they're using AI to determine the water in the soil. So they have built sensors around, placed it in several areas of the field. So right there, it is real time sending data to their central station. It's collecting data from the soil, and trying to see the humidity on the roots, on the plant rather. So by so doing, they don't know that okay, the soil, the plant is humid and the soil is dry and whatever. So they release sprinklers. The sprinklers open and it starts wet. Oh my! This is see. Let me tell you guys what we can use with AI is remarkable and unbelievable, and they are planting hectares, hundreds and thousands of hectares of land. They know if to sense maybe this what's happening in the soil, maybe maybe the environment, also the weather, maybe termite invasion, maybe too much rainfall, flood, everything that is being tracked. So that's what I'm just talking about on that concept of stereo. That's a very powerful one. And then I will wrap up with okay. I think just me said, as a future leader, I will use AI to increase my work efficiency and okay, effectively. Oh wow! So thank you guys. You guys are I enjoy myself in the section. You guys really engaged and this brings us to the end. So recap and next steps: ethics and leadership go hand in hand in AI. Ethics and leadership go hand in hand in AI. Please don't forget that. Ethics and leadership go hand in hand in AI. Now you have a role in shaping fair, inclusive AI in Africa. You have a role. And I said earlier, we that are on this journey will be the pathfinders, will be the forerunners, will be those ones who will be the advocates about the use case of AI to help Africa. Like you're hearing agriculture, you're hearing workflows, you're hearing productivity, you're hearing business, you're hearing about fairness. Wow, you're hearing efficiency and effectiveness. Wow, this is so powerful. So next section is section 6, the future of Africa, tech, AI, and leadership. Now, this section is going to be powerful, like it's going to be crazy. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. We're having people, leaders, coming from America, an American coming, that will be part of that panel. We have somebody from China with an African descent that will be being a part of that panel. We have these are all business, tech individuals, some of them are more business leaders, some of them are all, some of them are tech business leaders, and others are also business leaders too. Also, we have one from Nigeria, a business consultant, a mentor for Pan African University MBA program, and we also working on getting also a guest also from Kenya, a Kenyan also being part also in tech, and it's going to be a powerful session. By the grace of God, I will be your anchor for that session. So, man, don't miss that session. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be explosive. So now, lastly, you guys have been seeing on the chat box and flooding up. Register for the AI Vanguard Quest AI Ignition Trail Tier 1 training program. Don't miss it. Make the noise, share it, engage on our social media platforms. Talk about AI. This is your sections today. Now, what we'll do is this. All what we have, our what we call it now, our um, our our positivity that we have shared on this session today. I want us to take it to our social media platforms on the social media platforms, well, Facebook, Instagram, um, Twitter, LinkedIn, X rather, LinkedIn. Uh, Go there and tell what you just wrote now. Like for example, Siri said, as a future tech leader, I will use AI to increase agricultural yield in Nigeria. Favor said, as a future leader, I will use AI to uh, to ease my office work while ensuring fairness. Just down to everyone. Free said, as a future leader, I will use AI to increase my workflow. Go to the chat to the comment section of this section. Go to the comment section of this section and type. Just copy what you just wrote here. Copy it and go and paste it there. Paste it there. Make some noise. Share it on your status and let people know about the ethical use of AI and becoming a responsible and respectful African leader. Thank you all for your time, and I appreciate you for having me today on this section. Bye for now, and see you some other time.
Thank you, Mr. Solomon. Thank you so much for your time. Please give a round of applause for Mr. Solomon. That session was very, very wonderful. It was inspiring and it was very, very educating. Thank you so much, Mr. Solomon. We pray for more blessing. And in a quick summary, in a quick break before we close up, we are going to be seeing a slide presentation on the AI courses that we are offering. And I want us to go to the chat box to get a review on the links. I want us to join, to refer, to make awareness on our social platforms towards the next meeting we're going to be having on FTL Africa, which is going to be very, very inspiring. We are going to be learning more on some of these courses, and in Tier 1 we are going fully. So please go to the comment section. You can click and follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Telegram. You can join our channels on Telegram. You can also retweet, follow us on Twitter. We are on Twitter. If you need sources or previous materials, you can also check our YouTube. We have uploading the previous sessions there, so you can make a recap. Either there's something on there, you can check it out. And also, commitment fee is not compulsory. It is not required for you to join the sessions, but it's a commitment fee to show that yes, you support the project and to show that yes, you are interested in continuing with FTL Africa in learning and building your AI journey. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to meeting you next time for the next session. Thank you so much.